Welcome back once again, friends. We have been looking at turtle graphics for the last few videos. In this video, we are going to put everything that we have been learning, all of that together to do something interesting. In fact, we are going to draw a smiley, something like this character over here. However, there's a bigger point in this. This smiley is just one example of the many things that turtle can do, provided our basics are clear and provided we stay logical in whatever we are doing. We go in a step-by-step manner. So that's what we'll illustrate. We'll first look at the smiley, its x and y coordinates, analyze the drawing a little bit, and then we'll get on to writing the code. And that's, in fact, the right way of going about this, right? So let's get started. Like I said, first we'll look at the important coordinates of the smiley, right? Now, no matter what drawing you are doing, I recommend you do this analysis, maybe draw it on a piece of paper, how you want it. The reason is that, remember, we are using logic here to draw something, right? Which means you're going to write program to make a turtle go to the precise locations that we wanted and do what we wanted it to do there, right? So if we are clear, there's a clear picture in our head. If we have the right understanding of the x and y coordinates where this turtle should be going, then the process will become very logical and much faster than haphazardly doing it, right? So this bit of planning will always help you, and that's why I recommend you do this no matter what drawing you're doing, right? So in our case, we have the smiley. The base is this square of side 200 with vertices as say minus 100 and so on. On top of that, we have these two i's, which I have placed at x of 0 and y of 30. Now remember, x of 0 is right in the middle. So I've just raised my y by 30 steps. And that's the middle of these two i's. As you can imagine, I'm going to use t dot circle method to generate this circle and also this circle. Now both of these circles are of, in my drawing, radius 25. So this drawing is not entirely up to scale. It need not be, so long as it conveys the main points, right? So the circle radius will be 25. And then I also have these eyeballs, which I've placed on x of minus 15 and x of 15 respectively. So minus 15 and 15 respectively at y of 30. And for these two balls, I'm going to use a method called t dot dot, right? We could always use circle and fill it. That's fine. But there's also a method called t dot dot, which we will use. Also, coming to the smiley. Now, smiley is, though this picture is not depicting very entirely correctly, but in fact, the smiley is a semicircle. So I'm going to, basically come to this point, which is given by 35 minus 20. So over here, put my smiley facing, put my turtle facing downwards and have it draw a half circle with radius of 35. Notice this is 35. So this radius here is actually 35. You can convince yourself of this. This is going to be a semicircle with turtle facing downwards and, of radius 35. So this is what we are going to do. Now let's just go back to the code that we had been building and implement this. It's in fact going to be quite straightforward from now, if once we know what is to be done. So first thing first, remember our, this program here writes, builds a square, fills it. It's just that it's filling up with this red and pearly wood. So I don't want that. I'm going to instead set this to say, black, which is a pen color, and I'm going to set it to say yellow, right? Because I want the fill to be yellow and the outline to be black, right? So if I did this, indeed, that's what happens, right? So I get a black outline square with yellow color painting inside it. Now I'll proceed on to make the eyes. For that purpose, I'm going to, I already had the code to draw a circle, but I don't want the circle at that location. Also, I do not want my pen to go, for example, over to say 00, right? So instead, like I discussed, I'm going to send my pen to 030. I'm going to make it look upwards, set heading to 90. Remember, 90 is upward. Now I'm going to say set the pen size to 1. So I say t dot pen size to say 1, and I'm going to put the pen down, and let's remove this for the moment. I'm going to say let the sorry, maybe I'll just comment this for the moment. So let's not begin fill and fill. I'm going to draw two circles of radius 25 this time. Remember, one circle of radius 25, that will be clockwise. Another circle of radius t dot circle of say radius minus 25, which is anti-clockwise. Right now with this, if I just did, I'm going to remove all this because it can cause confusion for my program. So I'm just going to remove this. Notice if I did this, what I get is indeed the two eyes, I mean the outlines of those eyes, exactly as I wanted them to be. Right now I'm going to fill these two. So I'm going to say t dot begin fill. I don't want to change the pen color, but I do want to change the fill color here, right? So I'm going to say t dot fill color. For example, I'm going to say, for instance, I can say white, because that's what I want to do. And here I must give T dot end fill, right? So if I did this, now what happens is that I get those eyes, and notice those eyes are filled white in color, right? And one thing you might have noticed that whenever I do fill, in fact, the turtle also gets filled and the outline also follows the turtle. The turtle also follows the outline as given by the pen color, the fill as given by the fill color. You might have noticed that is just the way turtle is built, right? Now I want to draw the two eyeballs, right? Remember, like I told you, I'm going to use this function called t dot dot. So once this is done, I'm going to again say t dot pen up so that I lift up my pen, and I go to t dot no, go to say minus 15 and 30. Now, why did I go to minus 15 and 30? 30 should be clear because my eye also was this is a 30, so I just want to move towards the along the sleeping line, say 15 steps backwards, and over here I can just go and put t dot dot 20, right? So it's going to put a dot for me. You can just see what happens. It's like a one dot. Like I said, you could have also used circle and then colored it, but dot works for us here. Next, I go to do my second eyeball. So I go to t dot go to say 15 and 30 this time round. So I go and say 15, 30, and again I go and say t dot dot say 20. Right now, once I do this, I'm going to get two eyeballs as we had planned. And what I'm left with is the smiley. Now, smiley, remember, I am going to draw a semicircle starting from minus 35. So let me just check. It's minus 30, 35 and minus 20. So I basically come to, okay. So I'm going to come to say minus 3520, right? And if we can talk of two methods anyway. So I'm going to say t dot go to say, sorry, go to minus 35 and minus 20. So I wanted to come to this particular point. Uh, and I must do t dot pen color to say orange. I use orange here because it looks nice for me. I set the t dot pen size a little bit larger, so maybe 8. And then I say t dot pen down. Right now, remember my my smiley, so I just did this much. Let's just see for ourselves, right? My turtle is in fact standing at this position. It has taken the pen color is orange, as we already see that. Now I want it to point downwards and then draw a semicircle, right? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, t dot set heading to say minus 90. Why minus 90? Because remember, 90 is upwards, so minus 90 is in fact downwards. And now I'm going to say t dot circle, I'm going to say radius of 35 and 180 degrees, right? So this is going to be a counterclockwise circle, which means it's going to go this way and 180, because half a circle is all I want, right? So if I did this, I'm going to draw those two eyes. So I made a simple mistake. I have not done a pen down over here, right? So I go to this point and then I do a t dot pen down, right? So if I did that, then I expect this to work. uh, Indeed it does, right? And once this is done, I can go and t dot hide turtle, right? So if I go and say hide turtle, again I must use these two brackets in the end to hide my turtle, right? So notice what happens. It draws all of this and then it also goes and hides itself, right? Now, one thing here, we could have also drawn the smiley's face another way, that I could have brought my turtle to this point, which is going to be minus 35. Sorry, it's going to be plus 35 minus 20, and then I could have drawn with a clockwise radius, in which case I would have put radius of say minus 35, but still I will be putting 180 because that's what I wanted, just half a circle, right? Now, obviously, you can do lots and lots of things on this to improve this, to make it better, but I hope this gave you an idea on how you can use the different methods that we have been learning to draw something which is somewhat interesting and attractive, right? So go ahead, enjoy. Very, very creative exercise. You can combine this with all the other code that you know to do some really creative stuff. Take care. Thank you so much. Bye bye.